The Detroit Lions entered Week 11 looking to extend their 7-game winning streak against a struggling Jacksonville Jaguars team that arrived at Ford Field with a 2-8 record. Fresh off a comeback win over the Houston Texans, Detroit aimed to capitalize on a Jaguars squad embroiled in speculation about their head coach and general manager's future. To maintain player health and energy, the Lions had adjusted their practice schedule over the past 2 weeks, replacing traditional Wednesday practices with walkthroughs. The strategy paid off as Detroit dominated Jacksonville, improving to 9-1 with a commanding 52-6 victory. Detroit won the coin toss and chose to start on defense, building on their strong second-half showing against Houston. The Lions' defense set the tone early, holding the Jaguars to a field goal on their opening drive. The Lions responded immediately with a methodical 70-yard drive capped by David Montgomery's 2-yard touchdown run. Montgomery showcased his physicality, breaking multiple tackles on his way to 21 rushing yards on the opening drive. The veteran back extended his streak to 5 consecutive games with a touchdown at Ford Field and added another score in the second quarter, giving Detroit a 21-3 lead. Detroit's offense fired on all cylinders, scoring on their first 6 possessions. Offensive coordinator Ben Johnson took advantage of Jacksonville's vulnerability to explosive plays. Jamison Williams made a 24-yard catch to set up a 23-yard run by Jahmyr Gibbs, who finished the drive with a 1-yard touchdown. Later in the half, Gibbs turned a short pass from Jared Goff into a 54-yard gain, setting up Amon-Ra St. Brown's 27-yard touchdown catch. While the offense shined, Detroit's defense suffocated the Jaguars after their opening drive. Kirby Joseph made an early statement with a key open field tackle, followed by Alex Anzalone's tackle for loss to force a punt. Amik Robertson disrupted a screen pass on Jacksonville's third drive, leading to another punt. Joseph later intercepted a pass in the third quarter, marking his NFL-leading 7th pick of the season. The Lions secondary has been performing at a high level and is set to even get stronger throughout this season. Detroit's explosiveness was on full display, as their offense has led the league in quick strike drives spanning 4 plays or fewer. They executed back-to-back quick scores, including a 64-yard touchdown by Williams after halftime. This marked Williams' second 100-yard game of the season and the first time he and St. Brown both surpassed 100 receiving yards in the same game. The Lions' dominance was evident as they scored touchdowns on each of their first 6 offensive drives, cementing their position as one of the NFL's most dynamic teams. We could talk about Jared Goff's flawless 158.3 passer rating, highlighted by 412 yards and 4 touchdowns. We could praise the dynamic duo of Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, with Gibbs racking up 123 scrimmage yards and a touchdown, while Montgomery added 75 yards and 2 scores. We could also marvel at Amon-Ra St. Brown, who was unstoppable, catching all 11 targets for 161 yards and 2 touchdowns. Or we could celebrate Jamison Williams' explosive performance, including a 64-yard touchdown and 124 receiving yards. But let's take a moment to credit the unsung heroes up front. The Lions' offensive line was the foundation of Detroit's offensive dominance, enabling touchdowns on 7 straight drives without a single punt. It was a clinic in control and execution. Dan Campbell's squad made it look like a 7-on-7 drill. Goff had endless time in the pocket, facing pressure on just 6 dropbacks. Even under duress, he still completed 4 passes for 135 yards and 2 touchdowns. The disparity in the trenches defined the game. While Detroit's offensive line looked built to dominate, Jacksonville's couldn't keep up. A stark difference between the two. It's tough to say if Jared Goff can work his way back into the MVP conversation after a 5-interception performance, even if all of those picks were entirely his fault, but he certainly did everything possible to leave that game in the past. Goff was arguably even sharper than during his perfect outing earlier this season against the Seahawks. He completed 24 of 29 passes for 412 yards, 4 touchdowns, and posted a flawless 158.3 passer rating. With an incredible 14.2 yards per attempt and no sacks taken, Goff operated with complete control. Even more impressive was his poise in the pocket, paired with 21 rushing yards, the 4th highest single game total of his career. This might have been Goff's best game as a Detroit Lion, and it's hard to imagine anyone disagreeing with that assessment. On the downside, the Lions suffered a significant loss with linebacker Alex Anzalone fracturing his forearm. Head coach Dan Campbell confirmed he'll miss 6 to 8 weeks and is likely headed to IR, joining fellow linebackers Derek Barnes and Jalen Reeves-Maybin. Detroit's linebacker room started the season as one of the team's strengths, leaving the Lions with capable starters in Malcolm Rodriguez and Jack Campbell. However, with the recent injuries, their depth will face a serious test moving forward. The Lions made history against the Jaguars, scoring touchdowns on their first 7 drives before Jared Goff and most of the starters were pulled. They became the first team to achieve such a feat since the 2007 Patriots, who finished the regular season undefeated and boasted the second highest scoring offense in NFL history. On top of that, Detroit set franchise records for total yards, first downs, and margin of victory, with their defense delivering a dominant performance. Dan Campbell, a man who holds deep respect for the game, has spent more than half his life in the NFL as a player or coach. During his time with the Saints as assistant head coach, he contributed to some of the league's most memorable offenses. When asked if the Lions offense could rank among the best in NFL history, Dan confidently stated, "I think we have that ability. I really do." This season, the Lions are averaging 33.6 points per game, outpacing every other team by more than a field goal. The Lions have never reached a Super Bowl, nor have they ever been favored to win one until now. Following Detroit's dominant victory over Jacksonville and Kansas City's loss to Buffalo, the Lions emerge as the betting favorites to win the Super Bowl for the first time in franchise history. With a 9-1 record and a league best plus 159 point differential, the Lions are undeniably the NFL's top team at the moment. While there's no certainty they'll host the Lombardi Trophy in February for the first time ever, they're the front runners to do so. The Detroit Lions are gearing up for a grueling stretch with 3 games in just 11 days, including their traditional Thanksgiving matchup and a rare back-to-back Thursday slate imposed by the NFL schedule. To manage the demanding schedule, the Lions have replaced their Wednesday practices with walkthroughs for the past 3 weeks. This approach is designed to keep the team fresh, both for their playoff push and this challenging stretch of games in a compressed time frame. The 2024 Detroit Lions secured another milestone in franchise history on Sunday. With their dominant 52-6 victory over the Jaguars, the Lions extended their winning streak to 8 games, setting a new franchise record for consecutive wins in a single season during the Super Bowl era. They made history by scoring touchdowns on the first 7 drives, like I said, a feat last accomplished by the 2007 New England Patriots, who went 16-0. And they also set a franchise record with an astounding 645 yards of total offense. The Lions haven't tasted defeat since week 2, when they fell 20-16 at home to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Lions previously achieved a 9-game winning streak spanning the end of the 2010 season and the start of 2011. In 2023, they matched the franchise record for most wins in a single season with a 12-5 finish. Now at 9-1, the 2024 Lions are poised to set a new benchmark with 7 games remaining, including 4 at Ford Field over the final 2 months of the season. Let me know down below if you guys expected this season from the Lions. After the NFC Championship lost, I expected this Lions team and Dan Campbell to come out firing on all cylinders. There is no doubt that the Lions are the best team in the NFL at this moment. Let me know down below, do you guys think that they're going to reach the Super Bowl? And let me know what you think of the Lions season so far. And if you made it this far and you haven't already, make sure you go down below and you subscribe and you turn the notification bell on so you never miss a Lions video or any video at all. Leave a like as well. I greatly do appreciate it, and I'll see y'all in the next one.